the Esmeralda, the counter towards the Phobius in the XP lane. APBREN has used this in the M5 World Championship, and it proved to be a very good counter towards the Nolan. I think even the Harriet as well, but that is really a very bold move coming out from the Homeboys, right? They pick up immediately the Harriet. They didn't even see what the gold lane is going to be here for APBREN. They add up the Valentina here to possibly pick up also the final slash of the Arlot to have a little bit more CC on their side. We haven't revealed anything just yet from Homeboys. Maybe go for like the Cho pick of a sword that he loves picking up so well. And now Homeboys right now, it seems like the bans are going to be centered towards Kaltizi, the jungler of APBREN.
Yeah, there aren't usually a lot of opportunities where Phobius can shine. But I mean, these first 3 picks basically speak and come together and say, pick a Phobius to kind of counter this. You've got dashes on all of these heroes. The only thing, though, for me that could be is when you have so many dashes to the point that you can possibly be able to kind of lure Phobius out, and there's going to be hard for him to actually be able to focus on one thing when you've got so many all around the board. And we're going to hopefully that's what Homeboys have in mind here, because Phobius does, as soon as he gets that demonic force, he's just gonna he has so much regen, so much damage he can output right from level 4 in that first hurdle fight.
Yeah, all of these bans from the Homeboys are just centered towards Kaltizi. Perhaps he might be left with is he gonna go for like the classic like fighter tanky type of jungler? And we did talk a little bit about the Barretts here. Not so sure though if it will fare well up against like the Nolan, right? And even the Harriet here. But they pick up, oh wow, this is a signature coming out from their side. They pick up the Fredrin here, almost pretty much like the same lineup that Twisted Minds had in the first series. So this is a classic coming out from them. They had solid front line. They got that CC coming out from the Arlot. They still need something in the gold lane for Super Margo. Is it gonna be the signature Brody here? Because it seems like he's gonna be going up against the Harriet in the gold lane.
Yeah, I was about to say probably a strong pick would be that Brody, especially once the Zaman force comes down. Brody will be able to get the stun in, create that distance from Harith, so that he's not able to kind of get a lot of attacks off there. On the Homeboys side, looks like we're going to pick up Thamus and then Tigreal as well. Tigreal, who we saw during the last match, I mean, it was unfortunate because I want to say that he was heavily countered when it came to a lot of his sets with that implosion. They were able to stun, pop him up, and just rain down an excess amount of damage on him. We're going to see if Homeboys possibly being able to utilize it a little better.
Oh, I actually thought that the market was going to go for the Brody, but this time, you know, knowing that there's going to be a Harriet there, a Nolan that can pick you off, right? The Claude is going to be the safest pick. We've seen this also in the first series where the Claude has just so much mobility and 100% win rate so far in Games of the Future.
Ooh, we are here at it right now. The first game of Homeboys taking on APBREN. We're going to see if this new roster has any surprises to show the, I want to say, the veteran lineup of APBREN.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, immediately picking up the Harriet, right, for nets. I think that is something that they kind of want to put out very early on, despite the fact that they don't even know what's going to be going up against the gold lane. So I think this is kind of a signal for them to be, you know, a little bit more aggressive, at the same time, a little bit more showing of what they want to happen in the game. And this is not something we see so often, but something that we actually kind of have like a little throwback to the time where the Alice and the Harriet were kings in the gold lane.
Yeah, exactly. And we already see a little bit of the quickness and the speed you're getting from the Nolan. He's already on his orange buff there, while APBREN just making it over to theirs. So you're gonna have that speed, but it's like we said, it comes out to this early game. Ooh, Zorn coming in there, just getting a little bit of vision, wanting to know where everybody is at on the map for his team.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time too that the Tigreal was the one pushing out the buffs, right? That was a thing before. But the Sword is just kind of giving the vision here towards the side of Homeboys, so Chibi can actually know where he's going to be positioning. So the turtle is going to be key here. We did mention that this might be an early game, and we're starting to see like pokes coming in from both Homeboys and APBREN right now, but no pickoffs just yet. Everybody's just taking their time to get in the resources. Once that level 4 hits, we'll see where it's going to be happening right now. Sepat, though, gonna get pressured out there.
Yeah,
Forced to use that vengeance
activate. Yeah, use that vengeance. So now he's not going to have it for a little bit. And look at APBREN. They are not stopping. Oh, Sapat actually might be getting caught here. Is trying to create that distance. She becomes in here, putting on the damage. And Zorn out there saying a little bit of a lows to the team there.
Both sides actually, hey, we're here. But you know what? It is just kind of the thing that you can get before you feel like this big clash is going to be happening. Level 4 has been attained here by Chibi, so that is one advantage that Homeboys can actually have before getting into the turtle. Kyle TT still going to go for that purple before he gets into this first major objective. It's a good thing that Flab TZ is able to get in that level 4, so this should at least give APBREN that advantage when it comes to the team fights that will be happening on this turtle lane. Udil also picked up that demonic force, so that's going to be a force to be reckoned with when it comes to this turtle. APBREN going to be starting it up.
Yeah, and we're down to about half health already. We did see that Astral Echo went out there, and Sapat comes in. Here comes that demonic force, looking for to put the damage on. Chibi finds a kill onto Aujin. Flap TZ finds a kill onto the turtle and onto Chibi. 2 in 1 with that demonic force, able to get an objective and a kill.
Yep, and here's the thing too, it really gets confusing because Udil also had that demonic force, and at the time, right, when you were taking in the turtle, all you can see was actually 2 people jumping up and down and trying to like zone everyone out. But APBREN, actually you didn't see who was able to take in that turtle though, but the 3 minutes in, we can already see that it is going to be team fight eccentric when it comes to these turtle takes and these lord takes, and not to mention the adjustment that was made, right? You can no longer tug it to the side, so you can kind of expect to see like both these teams are going to be having like hard resets when it comes to taking especially the lord in later on.
Seeing both demonic forces is like a bouncy house during these team fights. So two members just flying up in the sky and then smashing and crashing down. It's going to be very interesting to see how we come out there. Oh, a big final slash comes down onto it. Odie looking to try to use that demonic force. Is it going to be enough to save him? He's still crashing down, trying to survive here. Chibi finds a kill onto Few. Blazing Duet is out. Udil in trouble, trying to find the safety of the tower. Is he going to be able to get it? He is. Oh. And Flap TZ goes down. That is a 3-1 for Homeboys.
Yeah, the slows coming in from the tower. He took too much damage there. Flap was actually going to try to go in for that last hit, but there was still that shield coming out from Udil, and he was able to get back to safety. There's some clapback, though, from APBREN on the bottom side. And at the same time, Kyle TZ in the middle of everything. He might be in trouble here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chibi's still able to get the retribution onto his orange buff here. Kyle TZ able to find himself an escape, and then Zorn able to defend Udil for this escape.
Yeah, level 7, this one level ahead for the gold lane here, Super Marco. He has been doing a double lane too. So not only is he getting the farm up top, he's also getting in some of the minion waves too in the mid lane. So this should give him some advantage to be able to get in those core items as the Claude. Here comes the Tekken Turtle. Owen is taking a bit of the damage here. He hasn't been using that ultimate just yet. Udil comes in with the demonic force. Owen is down.
Yeah, Ojin is down. You see the demonic force just clapping down both of them in the bouncy house of doom. Sapat finds a kill onto Flap TZ. Out comes the Zaman force, while Chibi finds a kill onto Kyle TZ and the turtle. 7-2 right now, a dominating performance right now for Homeboys.
The thing here about APBREN is it really gets confusing. Udil has been popping in that demonic force that he has been taking in. He's not even taking the final slash here. He's making sure that APBREN is zoned out before they take in the objective. Chibi managed to land in those nice ultimates right once it came down to that clash, which we know that the Nolan can really dish an insane amount of damage once it has the items, which we'll be seeing later on. But now it's going to be Homeboys at a lead, 17k and 14k for APBREN.
Yeah, a very interesting decision. I had never even, for some reason, it kind of slipped my mind when the first picks went out, and you had the Nolan, the Harith, and the Valentina, and when that Phoveus pick came out, it for some reason didn't even cross my mind that Valentina would be having just as much success on it as well.
Yeah, the thing here about the Homeboys is they're capitalizing on this early game that they had so that Nets can actually scale up pretty well. But as for APBREN though, Super Marco hasn't been picked off, so that is good. He has been farming the gold lane earlier and even the mid lane, so that just gives him a little bit more time to pick up the items that he needs. And Udil once again picks up that demonic force. So this is the thing for APBREN. They need to answer out to Udil right now, who has been such a menace to deal with in these clashes.
Yeah, this is what's good. The big thing is the patience of APBREN. As much as this looks to be going in Homeboys' favors, all it takes is for them to go ahead and start hitting these power spikes, especially Super Marco. We've already seen it, an example of it in the last 3 games that we've been casting here, that the Claw
Top
just
side,
needs
though.
an opportunity. You see there that the Blazing Duet already comes out there. Chibi gonna go ahead and create some distance between him. Down at the bottom, Terrified onto Kyle TZ as they're gonna go ahead start on this turtle. Here comes the demonic force landing in the implosion as well. Pops up Kyle TZ. That means APBREN does not have their retry, but it looks like Homeboys are not done with the fight.
Yeah, Homeboys actually went for the full engage there, making sure that Kyle TZ is down as Chibi was actually farming up top. APBREN was actually trying to go for Chibi with that pick off on that final slash and maybe the Blazing Duet coming out from the quad, but Chibi was way too alerted there, knowing what's gonna happen there. And so far, Homeboys is just aggression after aggression. They've taken in 2 towers, and so far, all turtles of the game. 7 minutes in, and it is still Homeboys leading.
Yeah, and that's kind of the value you get out of a Nolan, because he can basically spam his abilities on without cooldown. He gets those dashes very quickly, so you need to be able to kind of close out his escapes when you're engaging him, especially when it's only 2 of you to try to catch one person who can basically spam his movements all around the map.
Yeah, this is the thing. Soren has been using that implosion onto Kyle TZ, right? Like when you get that Fredrin stun, and at the same time you combine it with like the Zaman force coming out from Nets, or even Udil's like first 2 attacks, it's enough to actually contain Kyle TZ, so he's not able to soak up the damage, not able to pop in the Appraiser's Wrath, and basically not able to do anything while he's suppressed. So this is good for Homeboys when it comes to the early game. But as for APBREN, right, they need to get Super Marco farmed up here, and so far he hasn't been picked off. And let's take a look at the items here. He has already built up that Demon Hunter sword, and all he needs is that golden staff to be able to get into that full engagement once it reaches the late game. But Homeboys is just pressuring every single lane right now.
Yeah, and they need to, because they know what their win conditions are. Big final slash does go on to Sapat, trying to put the damage onto him. He is going to pop that vengeance and able to get himself away. Out comes the implosion. Is that going to be enough? Demonic forces are out. Kyle TZ finds a kill on the GB. Zorn is down, and Appraiser's Wrath comes out as well, but doesn't catch anybody. That 3 down for Homeboys, 1 down in the name of Ogen for APBREN.
Yeah, actually, Homeboys was confident at that time, right? Like Soren wanted to go in. They actually got in Sepat first. Let's take a look at the highlights here. Sepat actually backed away. You got Few as well with the Astral Echo from the backside. Ogun was down, and the demonic force was forced to be reckoned with here. And at the same time, Super Marco came in at the right time with the Blazing Duet that is already kind of damaging Homeboys here. Here comes the Lord.
Yeah, Kyle TZ able to find it with the Retribution and that Appraiser's Wrath. Alguen able to find a kill as well, and we were just talking about it. Just took a little bit of a moment. Big pop-up finds him and bursted down right now. Blazing Duet from Super Marco to go ahead and clear out the way, and Chibi finds himself a quick ticket back to the base.
Yeah, 204 for the Claude of Marco. This time we kind of see the Claude being activated right now. APBREN was able to take in that Lord. This should actually make them take a little bit more space in the map that the Homeboys has been pressuring from the early game. Now we see the goal lead actually nullify right now. It's actually even now for both sides. 31.1k for both Homeboys and APBREN.
This is what we were talking about. It doesn't matter how far ahead you are. APBREN sticking to the game plan, waiting for the power spikes, especially when it comes to Super Marco, getting those items. We have a Lord Khan clashing up at top. Now a clash at the purple buff. I'm not even sure who got that. It looks like Chibi able to claim his purple buff, even despite the amounts of harassment coming from APBREN, but still moving through, taking down towers, especially the mid tower, which is going to go ahead and open up the map for APBREN.
Definitely a big thing for them. This is going to be easier for APBREN to take in the Lords. And right now, 3 towers taken in by APBREN with just that one lord that they took. This is not even the enhanced one. So once it reaches this next lord, if APBREN manages to snag this one, Homeboys just has to either rely on nets here when it comes to the late game, right? And pretty much the Nolan here is already fine when it comes to like APBREN. It can actually deal with this Nolan here of Flap TZ's demonic force in the clashes.
Yeah, it's going to be these next few objectives going to be very pivotal for both of these teams as we're starting to move into the mid and late game. Chibi's going to find it harder to find those pickoffs once you're in these big clashes where everybody's kind of sticking together and covering for each other. So that's what we've been seeing is him now starting to split off, starting to clear the lanes, be a nuisance when it comes to creating that pressure on the opposing sides of the map.
Yeah, I think Homeboys understood that it was definitely going to be hard for CalTZ when it comes to the early game, right? Where the Fredin does not have the items, they keep on pressuring him. But right now, once it has the items, you can definitely go head-to-head here with the Homeboys. And even the purple buff here is going to be pressured on by APBREN. Not going to be easy here for Chibi.
This poor purple buff has no idea who to attack. It does look like Chibi is going to be able to get it, and very wisely, Homeboys don't press it any further. They got the buff. They're going to go ahead and back off and reset on the map.
Yeah, 10. And there's a lot more kills here for Homeboys, especially since this was pretty much a Homeboy showing aggression from the start. But APBREN has been taking control slowly in the game. It has been CalTZ. It seems like he's going to be the target here, though. A lot of ultimates happening. Yeah. The best has been started.
Yeah, big Zombie Force comes out there. Kyle TZ getting jumped on right now with that demonic force. Udil goes down to Flap TZ, and you see them trying to chase down Zorn, able to find the kill there. That is 2 down for the Homeboys. In comes Chibi, looking for a kill with that fracture, able to take down Few. 1 down for APBREN, but I dare say they still have the advantage when it comes to this Lord, especially the Luminous Lord right now.
Yeah, 2 for the price of 1. It's still going to be the numbers advantage towards APBREN. 40k lead for them. Flap TZ doing a good job zoning. I think this should be APBREN taking it in without any contests for the Homeboys. That's going to be the Enhanced Lord going to our M5 World Champions.
Yeah, and very dominant right now as we're moving into the 13-minute. You can see 3-0-5 for Super Marco right now. I mean, as soon as he came online, the entire tone, tide of this match completely changed. Ooh, they pass up that bush. Few actually might be in trouble. Chibi comes in there, gets a fracture. Unfortunately, Kyle TZ did not check that bush, and that allowed Chibi to get the one-off onto APBREN there.
Yeah, that's what makes the Nolan so deadly, right? Like, just 2 hits coming out from his skills. It's enough to delete Few from the map. And yeah, that was quite unfortunate, though. But they do have the Lord here. Flap TZ going to be soaking up the damage. A lot of isolated fights. Sword going to be using that implosion, though. But no match, of course, to Super Marco.
Oh, the CC has landed onto Chibi, who's not going to be getting away from Ogwen. And now we are pushing on to the mid towers, left to only the high grounds for Homeboys, who just a few minutes ago, very dominant against APBREN and have yet to find an answer for this aggression.
Yeah, 405 onto the Claude. Has that Purify too. So APBREN just taking all of these towers so quickly. Conceal has been made. Zapat's gonna be the target.
Yeah, Zaman Force is out with that demonic force coming out from Flap. TZ starting to zone out. The rest of them, Net's in trouble, trying to dash himself away from Super Marco, who is on the clock. Oh, we do have an implosion. Catches 1 member there as well. In comes Ogwen. Final slash is out from the back line. It does look like APBREN starting to create some distance, not wanting to fight a little bit more underneath the turret. I think looking to just kind of create that distance now and wait for the next Lord before they make their next push.
Yeah, the bushes are looking to be so deadly too, so they have to kind of check that for APBREN, but this time it's gonna be Chibi in trouble here. He's gonna make it out alive.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about, the spamming ability of him to be able to spam those dashes, which is actually more than Flap TZ can kind of contend with, but the job was done. They zoned him away from the purple buff, and that's going to be another stolen buff for APBREN.
Man, this is objectives, even resources taken away from Chibi. He has picked up 7 kills though, 4 deaths, but by this time though, it's gonna be really hard. Like the only target that you're gonna be getting is either like a pick off on the bush like what happened earlier up against Few. That's the best thing that you can do because the Nolan is that kind of hero that really shines in the early game. And by this time, all of these heroes have already picked up all the necessary items to kind of counter out all the damage that Homeboys is putting out. And as you can see, 15.2k gold lead for Super Marco and 11.8k only for Nets on the side of Homeboys.
Yeah, and then that says a lot too, especially there's something about having a gold lead on your opponents, but when most of that gold lead is on one person, it really kind of tells a story of like how dominating an effect that they are having. Kyle TZ finds this Lord pretty easily. Sapat going in with the vengeance. I mean, a last effort there, but gonna get bursted down by Super Marco, and the last hit going to Few.
Yeah, nice attempt though by Sepat, but you know, with APBREN kind of surrounding him, there was just nowhere to go. Even with the vengeance, he was not able to sustain that damage. Super Marco right now still has that Purify. The inhibitors are already down here for the mid lane and the bottom lane, so it's one left over on the top side. But APBREN is looking to end this one. Only starts it with a final slash here.
Yeah, Udil in a little bit of trouble there. Gets caught on the wrong end. Out comes the Appraiser's Wrath, and then Few finds the kill. Zaman Force is out there trying to protect the core, but the overwhelming damage coming from APBREN, pushing them out. Blazing Duet is out. Chibi goes down. A double kill for APBREN, and that's going to be all she wrote for the Homeboys. Game 1 going to the the M5 champions, APBREN.
Yeah, current rating M5 champions, current rating MPL Philippines champions, and APBREN gonna be taking in game number 1 just like that. That means it's gonna be match point for them for our second games. Homeboys though did have a very good early game, did have that pressure up against APBREN, but once Super Marco was activated there, that was really difficult to bounce back from that situation. Storm was trying to find the openings, and even Udil couldn't even pop in the demonic force at that time. That was really a struggle for APBREN in the start, but you know, once it reached the late game, it was all APBREN's territory.
And that just kind of tells you what you get from APBREN and why they are on top of the Mobile Legends mountain right now. Is even, I believe it